The prophet Elijah is walking together with Elisha. They are on their way out of Gilgal. Then Elijah says, "Stay here. The Lord has sent me to Bethel." Elisha replies, "As surely as the Lord lives and you live, I will not leave you." So they go to Bethel together. There is a group of prophets. They come to Elisha and ask, "Do you know that the Lord is going to take your master from you today?" Elisha says, "Yes, I know. Be quiet." The prophet Elijah says to Elisha, "Stay here, Elisha. The Lord has sent me to Jericho." Elisha doesn't want to be without Elijah. He wants to follow him wherever he goes. That is a nice picture of what the Lord asks from us. He wants us to follow Jesus all the days of our life. So they both go to Jericho. There is also a group of prophets. They go to Elisha and ask him, "Do you know that the Lord is going to take your master from you today?" "Yes, I know," he replies, "so be quiet." Elijah then says to Elisha, "Stay here. The Lord has sent me to the river Jordan." But also this time Elisha refuses. So the two of them walk to the river Jordan. 50 men from the group of the prophets follow them. When they arrive at the riverside, Elijah takes his cloak. He rolls it up and strikes the water with it. The water divides to the right and to the left. Do you remember that God has done this before, a long time ago? Now he does it again. He shows his power. He never changes. What he could do in the past, he can still do today. The two men cross over on dry ground. The 50 prophets stand and watch them crossing the river. While they are walking on the other side of the river, Elijah asks Elisha, "Tell me, what can I do for you before I am taken away?" What would you ask when you know that someone would leave you and you will never see each other anymore? Do you know what Elisha asks? He says, "Let me inherit a double portion of your spirit." He wants to become a very good prophet. Elijah says, "You have asked a difficult thing, but if you see me when I'm taken from you, it will be yours. Otherwise, it won't." As they are walking and talking, suddenly a chariot of fire and horses of fire appear. They separate the two of them. Elijah goes up to heaven in a whirlwind. His cloak falls to the ground. Elisha sees this miracle. He sees the power of God. He cries out, my father, the chariots and horsemen of Israel!" He is sad that Elijah is not longer with him. He takes his clothes and tears them in two. That is a sign of mourning. Elisha then picks up Elijah's cloak. He goes back to the river Jordan. Then he takes the cloak of Elijah and strikes the water with it. "Where now is the Lord God of Elijah?" he asks. And then the water divides again. He can cross over. The God of Elijah is his God, and he also wants to be your God. The group of prophets from Jericho who were watching say, "The spirit of Elijah is resting on Elisha." That is exactly what Elisha was praying for. You can see God hears every prayer. God can fulfill your desires. He will always do so when you desire to know more about Him. Now the group of prophets go to meet Elisha. They bow to the ground before him. "Look," they say, "we your servants have 50 able men. Let them go and look for your master. Perhaps the Spirit of the Lord has picked him up and set him down on some mountain or in some valley." "No," Elisha replies, "do not send them." But they persist until he is too embarrassed to refuse. So he says, "Send them." They send 50 men who search for 3 days. But of course they don't find Elijah. When they return to Elisha, who is staying in Jericho, he says to them, "Didn't I tell you not to go?" You can see, people can think they are wise. But real wisdom is to trust the Lord and His words.